Hello and welcome to today's YouTube video. Today we are going to be discussing tools versus crutches and how those two things pertain to intermittent fasting and the goals that you hope to achieve for yourself. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Ann Parham. I am the creator of the online course, The Intermittent Fasting for Today's Aging Woman. It is a course where we take a mindset approach to creating an intermittent fasting lifestyle for ourselves so that we can look and feel our best and live our most authentic life. Now, before we get into today's video, I have a couple of community announcements I would like to make for my OGs who have been around for a little while. I want to take a minute to just explain to you why we stopped doing our live community conversations and the reason why those probably won't be coming back for a while. When we do a live broadcast or community conversation here, it is on a specific day and at a specific time, which requires you to be available on that day and time. And for a lot of women here in our community, that just wasn't feasible. And most of the people who watched the content when it was live was actually on the replay. And so what we're finding here with looking at some of our data and some of our analytics is that the YouTube channel itself is doing so much better with consistent uploads. So now we will be uploading content on Tuesdays at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. If for some reason I'm unable to get a video up, I will always post that in our community group to give you just a little heads up. But because this is part of what I do for my living and my business, I really do have to go with the data and the analytics, and I hope you understand that uploading video content is just working better for us right now. I do answer all the questions and the comments in the comment section, so that is no different than what we did in our live community conversations. This is just more convenient for me and more convenient for you because you can come join us when it's the best day and time for you. And I always love interacting with you in the comments, so please make sure you're taking advantage of that. If you are new, then welcome. Like I said, we do upload new content on Tuesdays at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. If there's anything that you would like me to address here in one of our conversations, please feel free to leave it in the comment section below. And if you're new, take a second to introduce yourself. I love getting to know you here. Okay, so let's talk about tools versus crutches. And so one of the things that I hear a lot from women who are looking to intermittent fasting as the tool that they want to use to maybe relieve some of the perimenopausal or menopausal symptoms that they're suffering with, or to get an advantage on some weight loss goals that they have, or some body fat reduction, just feeling better, or the health benefits that we all hear about with intermittent fasting, is I'm really excited about starting intermittent fasting, but. And if there's a but in there, that's usually when the crutches start to come in. And so I'll give you a couple examples so you know what I'm talking about. So what I hear a lot is, I'm really excited about intermittent fasting. I'm desperate to lose 20 pounds. But if you tell me I have to give up my creamer and my stevia and my coffee, then I'm out. I don't want anything to do with it. Or I really am excited about intermittent fasting. I've seen some of the testimonials that you shared. I'm super excited to have an opportunity to lose some weight or just get my energy back and feel better. But if you tell me that I need to start exercising, I'm out. And so oftentimes the crutches that we create are really within our own mindset, which is why we do take the mindset approach here in the Intermittent Fasting for Today's Aging Woman community. And we really focus on why it is we're coveting the thing that could be holding us back from reaching the benefits from the tool that we are investigating as part of what we want to implement in our life to get the result. And I know that sounds really wordy, but that really is the basis of what we're going to talk about today. So tools can be very powerful. Intermittent fasting is definitely a tool that we can incorporate to help our body's hormones balance out. We talk about this a lot here in this community. Those hormones that we need to get balanced out are our hunger hormones. Most specifically for women transitioning through hormonal changes, it's insulin. Intermittent fasting is one of the most powerful tools that we can incorporate to get our insulin back in a steady state where we are no longer insulin resistant. We can level out our leptin levels, we can get our ghrelin under control, and the signaling to our brain from our hunger hormones will be more in line with the goals that we really say that we want for ourselves. We're going to be able to just simply look at food and know what's going to serve us and what's not going to serve us because those hormones are going to be in check. Where we sell ourselves short is when we start incorporating some of these crutches. So if intermittent fasting is the tool, meaning we're not going to do anything for a very specific amount of time so that our hunger hormones have an opportunity to balance themselves out, and we have an opportunity to drain the tanks and get our body back into a weight loss type of environment, then why is it that we would want to mess around with that tool by slipping in some crutches? The crutches being the innocent little apple cider vinegar, or the creamer in our coffee, or the little 15-calorie snack that someone on the internet said that you could have in your fasting window. Why would we want those crutches to take us away from this powerful tool that we know works because we've seen some of the results? And so we really want to work on the thoughts that we have in our brain that are helping us justify these crutches that are taking us away from the tools. And crutches just really end up being little conveniences that we want to feel when something seems really uncomfortable for us. And yes, going without food or little quick fixes of the 15-calorie this, or that romantic little cup of coffee we have in the morning that has the creamer in it and the stevia, like getting rid of that comfort is a scary feeling for a lot of people, and it's a very legitimate feeling. But if you're also living miserable with your body, and you're living miserable with some signs and signals like night sweats and insomnia and the inability to lose weight, or maybe you've just been diagnosed with some sugar-related type of disease, that is also a very uncomfortable way to live. And so being able to define the difference between a tool, something that's going to help you get to your goal, and a crutch, the convenient little comfortable thing that's going to keep you from getting to your goal that you haven't made the connection with yet, is a powerful skill set to have. And it is one of the things that we really work on inside the Intermittent Fasting for Today's Aging Woman course. I'll give another example of an area where a lot of women are investing a lot of money into crutches that they really are marketed to as a very powerful tool, but they just haven't made the commitment emotionally and mentally yet to use it as the tool in which it's intended to be used as. So things like the Lumen, glucose and ketone monitor. I've been recently talking about a continuous glucose monitor. Those are all very powerful tools that can provide some amazing insight to how our body is responding and reacting to decisions we're making in our life. But if we're not fully invested in the features and benefits of that tool, and our brain is believing that just because we made the purchase, we pulled our credit card out, we paid the money, we received the thing, and now we have possession of it, without putting any effort into it, or without fully understanding how this tool is supposed to work for us. And we kind of go in with one foot in, one foot out. I'm going to try this thing, but if it doesn't work, then I'm done. I'm going to give up and quit trying kind of attitude. Then that also can become a very expensive crutch for us, because we're not using the insight and the data and the feedback that's telling us the truth about some of the decisions we're making and how that's affecting our body, and being able to use that to implement change. We're blaming this tool for giving us feedback that we're not happy with because we think we should be farther along, or we think we're doing the right thing, but again, those crutches are holding us back. So what I would love for you to leave this video with today is an opportunity to pause and think about some areas of your life where you might be using some pretty powerful tools that you have in your possession and turning them into crutches that could be the very simple thing that's holding you back. Do you really need to be soothed by a cup of coffee with creamer and sugar in it in the morning? Or would it be more soothing for you to experience the energized sense of calm and get that win of losing a couple pounds, or maybe even more when you start losing some inflammation, when you just realize how powerful of a tool an intermittent fasting protocol can provide for you when you lean into the tool that it is without needing the comfort crutch. We also use things like meal plans and waiting for someone to tell us what to eat, and micromanaging macronutrients, or going all in and all out, and using food deprivation in categories like I'm going to give up sugar for 30 days, or I'm not going to do white flour, or you give up categories of food and then blame the fact that you felt deprived and isolated and left out. That's the crutch we create, when the tool that we could have benefited from for going 30 days without sugar is identifying how addicted we are to certain types of sugar, and can we benefit without them. So tools can be very powerful for us when we use them in the correct way and we create a mindset around benefiting from them. Crutches can be very detrimental to us and the results that we say that we really want for ourselves, because we will always use them as our scapegoat. We will always use them as a thing that we can blame, and they'll always be the reason why we are failing ourselves. If you're feeling stuck, if you think you're doing all the right things but you're not getting the results that you were hoping for, do a very honest analysis of some of the thoughts you have about the decisions you're making in your everyday life. How many exceptions are you making, and are those exceptions the crutches that are holding you back from looking and feeling your best, and then having that opportunity to live your most authentic life? If you're always living in denial, if you're always living in regret, if you're always disappointed in yourself, trust me, that is not you living your most authentic life. The more honest you can get with yourself, the more you can really lean into tools that we have available to us today in 2024. There are some pretty fascinating tools out there that are available to the everyday person that can give you the edge and give you the advantage to living a happy and healthy life. But you have to stop using them as the crutch, and you have to stop using them as the excuse as to why you are actually failing yourself. Once you lean into the tools and you start to benefit from them, you will get the wins, you will be encouraged, you will feel motivated, and the progress will just keep coming. Food is supposed to be simple, taking care of ourselves is supposed to be simple, and having an opportunity to age happily and very healthfully is supposed to be simple, and we should take a no-nonsense approach to it. If it feels complicated, if it feels frustrating, I promise you it's just the decisions you're making that are holding you back. I hope today's video is going to encourage you to pause and think. Track some things in a journal, track some things in a planner, see where you're making exceptions, see where you're making compromises, see where you're leaning into something that's going to be comforting how you feel emotionally versus holding you back from how you want to feel in your own personal accomplishments. It is a very eye-opening experience. It is freeing, and it will empower you to, in fact, live your most authentic life and have the opportunity to look and feel your best. This is the approach we take here in this community. It is a mindset approach because nutrition is very personal. Nutrition is very individualized, and you deserve to take the time to figure nutrition out for you. But it does take doing some drilling down and figuring out where it is you're falling short. I love having you here in our community. Please leave me a comment in the comment section below. Have you identified something as your crutch when you intended for it to actually be a tool? And were you able to turn it around? Do you need some help figuring out what a crutch might be for you and how you can turn it around into a tool? Let me know in the comment section. I am the one who answers your comments, and I would love to help you get through this little exercise. I am a firm believer that every woman has a right to look and feel her best and live her most authentic life. And we want to be empowered about the decisions we are making for ourselves today and our future self. And it all will come to you when we just get honest about those decisions we're making and we really figure out what tools are going to help us the best. If you're interested in jumping into our intermittent fasting for today's aging woman course, please leave me a comment in the comment section below. I'll get you the link to register. We have a new course starting every month, depending on when you're watching this video. Our next course will be starting August the 2nd. So if it is before August the 2nd, I will leave the link down below, as well as include it here for you so that you can get on my email list, or you can just go ahead and get yourself registered. Have a great rest of your day. I'll see you guys in the next video.